Hello there, Ray here, and welcome back, guys. What we have behind me is a pretty awesome little device. This is a Wither Rose farm that is also a Pigman gold farm as well as an XP farm. So you're going to get tons of gold as well as XPs and a lot of Wither Roses all at the same time. Wither Roses are a very useful item in the game, as not only can they be crafted down into black dye, but they also are extremely useful in making any type of mob farm in the game of Minecraft. All you need to do is place on some dirt that wither roses will be able to be planted on, like dirt, put a wither rose there, and then move away until mobs spawn on it, and they'll be killed off by the wither effect that the roses give when the mobs are touching it. And then just have hopper minecarts go underneath and pick up all the loot. Really easy. I've used this to make a super simple witch farm. Made quite a few wither skeleton farms using this. Pretty much any mob you want to kill in Minecraft, you can just use the wither roses to do it. Now the farm itself is quite simple. I just use my quick gold and XP farm up here. Really simple. You guys have probably seen this before. Same kind of setup. Pigmen spawn here on the magma blocks. They get attracted to this turtle egg in the center. They get close. Iron Golem gets mad at them. He will hit them. This will make other ones in the area mad, and they'll come running towards them. This will speed up the process of them coming over, falling down, getting to the bottom. And this is where it kind of changes. Rather than just letting them completely die by fall damage and dropping XPs, we then have them at only 1 health as they hit the ground. Then what happens is they are still mad at the Iron Golem, so they're going to move towards the center. The Iron Golem is right in the center, so they're going to try to get close possible to the Wither right here. And the Wither is doing explosions around here, which will kill the pigmen since they have low health, but the explosions aren't high enough to actually damage any of the walls. The Wither himself is also turn around circles, so don't matter where the pigman ends up, they will eventually take some damage and die. When the pigmen die, they drop their normal gold as well as rotten flesh. Because they're still aggroed at the Iron Golem at the top, they will also drop XPs. This will provide you a steady stream. It'll get you about level 30 in about 1 minute. It's actually faster than an Enderman farm. But because the pigmen actually die from the explosions coming from the Wither, they will drop a Wither Rose 100% of the time. So for every single pigman that comes through the system, it's going to give you a Wither Rose. This farm here is capable of producing almost 9,000 Wither Roses per hour, all while at the same time getting tons of XPs and gold. You'll get approximately a whole stack of gold blocks per hour. And in total, this will produce about 20,000 items per hour. All the items are being picked up by the hoppers down below and being put into the sorting systems. And we're sorting out the gold, rotten flesh, Wither Roses, and we're also smelting down the swords into more nuggets. All the sorting is optional, you don't have to do that. Overall, the system is quite simple. Like I said, it's just my quick gold farm and then the Wither in the center. And there's really not that much going on with the Wither. You can see he's just spinning around in circles, killing stuff. And this can all be done even on the hardest difficulty. It is hard difficulty right there. I've made quite a few Wither Roses farms in the past, 2 using Endermen and 1 using chickens, but someone in the comments suggested that I try to make one using pigmen, because they didn't want to use Endermen, I guess. I recommend using the Enderman one if you can, just because it's a lot more easier to set up. This one also has the pro of giving you gold as well as XPs at the exact same time. You guys might be wondering, how in the world did I get the Wither to work so smoothly inside of there? That's what I'll explain to you guys next. So there's a cool little trick that I showed you guys back in the 1.13 snapshots, where if the Wither itself has blocks inside of his foot, which is way down here, any explosions that he does will not be able to escape his premise, and instead immediately explode directly where they were summoned in. If we go ahead and just stop the pigmen from falling down, so you guys can kind of see this. You can see the explosions occurring. The explosions are not moving. You don't see like no black skulls like flying through the air. They're just immediately blowing up at the site of the side heads. I've used this in quite a few different contraptions and wither cages in the past, including in my obsidian farm. So that prevents his skulls from escaping. The explosions themselves can do damage. They're only able to destroy kind of weak blocks. So anything that's kind of like stone or harder, it's unable to destroy, because these are black wither skulls and not the blue ones. Blue wither skulls are different. They're able to like destroy obsidian and also like water pockets or lava pockets, which I've used before in my wither nuke. Now the main head itself can shoot off blue wither skulls very rarely, which could allow it to escape. But the blue head is currently concentrating on this chicken, which is going in circles. This is because the first thing that he's seen was this chicken over here, and therefore he's trying to keep track of it because he wants to eventually kill it. So as the chicken moves, he also turns around. This allows him to kill all the different pigmen which are inside of this area. But the wither will get bored if he cannot actually shoot at something. So what we do is after he sees this chicken here, we let him see this chicken. We do this by closing and opening this fence gate here. So now he can technically see this chicken over here, and we can go ahead and spectate the wither. And if you turn around, you can barely see that the chicken is within view of the wither. This means he can see it, therefore his side heads are trying to shoot at it. The main head will not shoot at it because he's busy trying to shoot at this chicken that's going in circles, which he can't see, therefore he can't shoot. The side heads are trying to shoot at this one, and they're creating explosions on either side. Explosions never actually leave this premise and never come over here to hurt the chicken. Now when pigmen do get damaged by the wither, they can be aggroed towards him, and they will try to attack him. They're actually unable to do this. Because they can't actually get close enough to the wither to hit him, they will try swinging at him, but are never able to do damage to him. This is very important because if they were able to do damage to him, then he would do his block breaking ability, which would destroy the blocks around him. Now pigmen can actually damage withers, but they have to be able to hit way down at the bottom of his tail to kind of do damage. After doing some testing, we noticed that the pigmen actually weren't able to attack the wither, therefore this works out really nice. We're doing the last hit on the pigmen, therefore making them produce wither roses. Pigmen are kind of similar to endermen. They spawn fairly quickly and are easy to be kind of funneled in and killed off. Overall, there's really not that much to it. Not very much redstone. If you want to, you can make everything stationary by keeping the chicken right about here. This guy is looking this direction, meaning that his side head is directly where the pigmen land. And then if you place in some blocks here, so the pigmen can't escape, as well as over here. Now the pigmen are only going to really land here. They will kind of move around eventually, but for the most part, they're going to be there. And you can try to block off all of this as well, so that they're kind of limited to a small area. You do have to let this guy still be able to see that one. But now if we let the pigmen through, they're all going to be in this really small area, and it's going to be a lot easier for the wither to kill them. And the items are also in a smaller area. But when you go to kill the wither, if you ever want to do that, this will make it so there's more blocks you have to replace. This does allow them to die a little bit faster because explosions pretty much occur in the same spot each time. They're mostly just using one side of the wither rather than both sides. Now for the player to AFK, you just kind of stand back a little ways so you don't pick up too many items, and you just go AFK here. All the items get picked up by the hoppers, including the gold and wither roses, and then you just collect all the XPs. So when you're ready to summon in the wither, you want to make sure that this guy is closed off, this guy is open up so you can see this guy. And you'll be summoning him from this side here, where there is the T shape. Got the wither skulls, the foot is right here over the center. And then we have is a fence gate that's in there. So we got a trapdoor. There's also a fence gate, which you can close and open. You want to have it open. There's a hopper minecart in there to pick up the loot. You want this closed when you start out. You also need a slab to cover this hole. The head, of course, and lava. And I'm doing this in hard difficulty. Go ahead and summon in the wither. You want to fall down. Make sure you have hitboxes on. Open that. Close that. Put that there. Put in lava there. Walk around the edge here so he doesn't kill you. Open that up. You want to close this off. And go ahead and scoop up the lava. Make sure if your chicken dies up here, you put another one back in there really quickly, or give it Turtle the Master so it doesn't ever die. Or give it Turtle Master potion so it never ever dies. So the gate should be down, that other gate should be closed. There should be hopper minecart still in there. That way if any items land centered, they can pick it up and put it into the other one. Make sure to also close off the side so the pigmen can't get out, and make sure there's no area for zombie reinforcements to spawn. So make sure everything is slabbed up or buttoned. Otherwise they can come out and kill you while you're AFKing. Now you go ahead and release the pigmen again so they drop down in there. And you can turn on your chicken so it goes in circles. The way you get your target mobs into the minecarts is have the target mob kind of over top of a curve rail to place a minecart on it. And then this will make it move. And then of course you want to make sure that he stops right there. And then make sure they're looking at the right targets. So you want the main head to be looking, you want the side heads to only be looking at this one, and you want the main head to only be looking at this one. So of course by unloading the chunks or relogging, you see the main head is now looking at this one, which is great. Now we can close that one off, and this one is open. You can see the main head looking down here, and the side heads are looking up here at this one. This guy shouldn't be able to escape. It's a lot easier to use chickens than like villagers because they're hard to get out here. For chickens, you can just bring in a chicken egg. You can also use like ender mites, but they're a little bit smaller and they can escape these kind of small places. You have to also name tag them and stuff like that. But chickens, you do have to be careful when you summon in the wither. They can die from the explosions. If you give them a Turtle Master potion, they'll pretty much survive anything. Now when it comes to killing the wither, there is actually really no good way to kill it, but you can stop the pigmen from coming down And the problem is that the wither is not really being held in very well. So if you actually start doing damage to him, he will try to break blocks around him. So if we go ahead and hit him once, you see he breaks blocks, and he is now concentrated on me. If I hit him again, yeah, he's just gonna start flying around trying to kill me. But you'll want to smite 5 sword, and you want to hit him very slowly. So just hit him one time. You can break blocks. Then just come in here and place blocks around him again. Like so. Then hit him one time. Then place the blocks in again. That'd be kind of fast, otherwise you can regen. And you can keep this up. And you can actually kill him. Remember, placing blocks each time, otherwise he's going to try to move towards you. But it does work. This is pretty much the only way you can kill him efficiently without him causing problems. I guess you can even put those in your offhand. Only want him about once every second. You don't want him to see you either, so always stay out of view. You should have plenty of blocks on you. Just like that, you can kill him. So it is possible to kill him in survival. He did do a little bit of damage. You can see he was shooting at this chicken here, but he didn't actually do any like structural damage. This was done on hard difficulty. Now you can update this to 1.16 and it works, but they did remove the ability for the wither's skulls not to explode immediately. So now they will move a little ways and then hit up against this wall. So if you do a setup like this where you close off these sides, the skulls will hit against them and I'll never be able to hit the chicken. Same type of setup. Main head's looking at this guy, the side heads are looking at this guy. Because of this, you don't want the wither to be turning sideways and letting the skulls go through this hole here. So it's good to keep the wither straight on. You can rotate both this chicken as well as this chicken over here. Therefore, the side head will be over here shooting. But it still works, you just have to pay attention to that change. Pretty awesome farm where you can get 3 different things at once. Wither roses, gold, as well as XPs. And all in all, it's not that complicated. There's like pretty much no redstone to it, but some very well thought out mechanics. If you guys would like to build this up in your very own world, I will provide the world download down in the description, as well as a link to all the different videos I talked about. And make sure to go ahead and share this with your favorite Minecrafters so they can see how simple it is actually to get wither roses as well as golden XPs all at once. And leave a like on the video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!